Hi guys, it's Sharnicia J and I'm back with another video. I don't know if this live had already started, but I'm Sharnicia J and I'm another video. Today I'm going live what I learned from having a job. And Lord, have I learned a lot from having this new job that I've been on. I don't know what's the point of having this AirPods in, but hi. I don't know what's the point of having those AirPods in when you got like not even connected to my laptop. So like, what's the point? But anyway, what I learned from having a job. Okay, so I'm gonna start out with the pros. The pros of having a job is dependable pay. If you see me looking down, it's because I made some notes before we even got started, so I wouldn't forget anything. But it's a dependable pay. You get paid like clockwork, whether it be every week, every once a month, every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. Then hi DJ Carl C. If it's like that, then it's dependable pay. It's a routine for people who like routine, and me personally, I don't really like routine because I am like a busybody kind of. Like, I like to move around. I don't like to be stuck to one thing at one time. I also don't like to be stuck in a box to where I have to go along with these set of rules where someone has to tell me what I'm supposed to do, what I can and can't do, all that type of situation. And also, I don't like to be in a box to where someone is in charge of what I do and what I engage in, how I work, to the point where they don't tell me certain things until it gets right time for me to do those things. And then they're like, oh, well, you're supposed to do this. Like, no, please just train me like ahead of time instead of along the way. Like, please just like let me know what I was supposed to do to begin with, and not just sit there and act like you're testing me and withholding information that I could have just known, and then I could have just done it right the first time. Like, I don't like that about the fact that it's routine. So yeah, it's a good routine for people who like a routine in their life. It can teach you, another pro is that it can teach you responsibility slash budgeting. So if you've never had a job before, then it can teach you responsibility. Like, it will teach you like, okay, I have to get up at this time to be there at this time and go to my job and always be punctual. It looks good on your resume if you put down that job, and then you're able to reference that job, and then they can give you um a good, what do they call it, like a review. Like, if another company calls that company and say, hey, she's looking for a new job, like, what would you say is her workmanship like, and stuff like that. They can give you an honest, not review, it's another word, but you guys know what I'm trying to say. They can give them a good, you'll have a good reputation. They'll be able to tell them, oh, she's a great worker, she's punctual, she's always at work on time. It's great. So always, like, this is one of the pros. Yes, it can teach you responsibility, but not only responsibility, it can, about like being punctual and how you hold yourself at work, but responsibility when it comes to your money. And yes, reference. Thank you so much. Yes, a good reference. So whenever it comes to budgeting can be a pro as well. It can teach you budgeting, and oh, I need to save for this. If you're thinking, oh, I want to save for a new laptop, oh, I want to save for a new Apple Watch, oh, I want to save for jewelry or something like that. It will teach you that budgeting is a big deal and saving is a big deal, in order to save and be invested in knowing how you're spending your money, so you'll know where it's going, so that you will know how much you can set aside after each paycheck. So that's a pro. Another pro is that it will teach you how to guard your heart and spirit. Now, this can stem from one of my cons that I'm probably about to tell you guys about. And one of those cons is, if you're working in a toxic work environment, like, you can work in a toxic work environment, and that can be a con, because who wants to work in a work environment that's toxic? uh you don't get along with the customers, your manager is not very nice, they don't really they're not good at communicating what you need to work on, all of that type of thing. Like they give a good face in front of everyone else, but whenever it's you and that person one on one, they make it a toxic work environment. You can't really come to them and speak to them about things that bothers you or worries you. So anyway, yes, so it will teach you how to guard your heart and spirit, because you don't want to just be open and being your full self around this person whenever you notice that they're toxic and they're not going to be good to work with or depend on for good training and things of that nature. So you need to guard your heart and your spirit so that you don't just get wrapped up in being a part of this job or having your role at this job because you're in there to get what you need to get out of it. And you need to make sure that you have that mindset like, okay, here's my goal, this is what I want to get out of it, and whenever I achieve that goal, I can always be able to get out. Yes, customer is always right. Okay, yeah, that is a big deal whenever you're working in customer service. Another thing is the reason why I said how to guard your heart and spirit is because whenever you have toxic customers, that's another thing. So this goes hand in hand with the people who work there, like the managers set the tone for all of the rest of your coworkers who will be there. And if it's a messy, like backbiting type of energy going around with the managers, with other managers that are a little bit, have a lesser role than your main manager, who is a manager over the entire place that you work. If there is messy situations, backbiting, talking behind each other's back situation going on, then it's going to be a toxic work environment, like I said, and it's going to rub off on the customers, and the customers may not have a great experience. So then the customers may be more of the angry type of customer that you may run across that you're going to be helping on this job. So you'll have to guard your heart and spirit. You guys, I can talk about this because I've experienced this firsthand. I've had situations in this new job that I have right now where customers have come up to the window and started banging on the window. I was so afraid because I don't know. On this job, I come into contact with crazy customers who get upset, customers who have basically, I feel like they've been abused by the people who work where I work. And I've heard them say, oh, it's always something. And they will just drive off from the place that I work. And it goes to show that this is not a first instance where they've been disappointed by our service or something. No, this is ongoing, and this is something that happens because of the tone that's been set by the managers and people who work at the establishment that I work at. So yes, like that can cause a toxic work environment. It will cause the customers to kind of act crazy whenever it comes to you, who might be the new person in the staff. So guard your heart and spirit. These people may curse you out. They may talk crazy about you. Guard your heart and spirit. And yes, DJ Carl C, kill them with kindness. Even though they may act crazy with you, still say, thank you for coming to whatever. Um, I'll see you next time. I got this done for you. Whatever, quote back to them what they told you they wanted to have done. When you finish it, give it back to them and tell them, like, hey, I finished this for you. Thank you for coming here, and I hope you come back. Basically, you just have to kill them with kindness. That's very true, DJ Carsey. So now I'm gonna move on to the cons. So the cons of having a job and getting a job is people people be brainwashed straight up. Like people really be brainwashed. You will go back into the matrix if you haven't had a job in a long time. You'll go back into the matrix and you'll get a regular job, and you'll realize that the customers are brainwashed as well as the people who actually work there. So what DJ Carlsey was saying about customer always right, Okay, that's a big deal. So the customer is already brainwashed because that's just a societal standard that the customer is always right. Yeah, that's correct. Okay. Because whenever you're being served by a business or an establishment, of course you want to give your best service so that they will come back. So yeah, they're brainwashed with that ideology. But also not only that, that's an okay ideology to have because you don't want to go somewhere where you're purchasing or using their services and they're not holding up to the standard of, okay, they're gonna do what they can to make what I want happen, in the best way possible. So yeah, that's an okay way to be, that's an okay ideology to have. But whenever the people on the job are brainwashed, they will have, they will have you remembering, if you haven't had a job in a long time, they will have you remembering that you have to get used to being a yes man. Like you have to get used to pleasing people. You have to remember that, oh, you can't just run off at the mouth, or oh, you can't just act crazy with these customers even though they're acting crazy. You're gonna have to remember, okay, slow your roll. You're not at home. You can't just do what you want to do. You will get fired. Remember that you are in a place of work and that you have to put the customer first because yeah, the customer is always right. um and so yeah, you just have to remember where you are, because that's something that I struggled with at the beginning when I first started working on this job. I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't just like turn off this microphone so I can't hear this person. I have to, acknowledge them still, even though they're talking crazy to me or something like that. I still have to acknowledge them. But don't be so brainwashed that it just starts to weigh down on your heart and your spirit and your soul to the point where you're just staying there for the paycheck, and that you're just gonna overlook how they treat you, even all the way to the manager. You can't just overlook how people treat you. You can't just be mistreated because you're telling yourself, okay, this is what we stand for. We don't stand for anything. We're just gonna stick around. We need to collect this paycheck, and it doesn't matter how they treat me. No, that's not a great way to be. That's not a good way to be in life, because it's just toxic. You're not taking care of your mental and your emotions. That is not the way that God has intended it for us to be and live. Like he wants us to have ourselves in a high regard and think of ourselves and make sure we're taking care of ourselves mentally and emotionally. Okay, the next thing that I meant by people be brainwashed is that just because they didn't do things in life, they don't believe that you can do it or that you have done it. So I encounter people at my job who, like, if I mention, like, people know that I'm a designer and that I went to New York to Parsons, the new school of design. And whenever I'm introducing myself, they ask us like where you're from, like have you gone to school? Like if you want to introduce yourself and tell that information, you can tell that information. One thing I learned on this job is keep everything to yourself and don't tell people your business. Be a mystery. All in all, be a mystery. My mom told me this recently. She was like, you know what, when you meet new people or if you're on these jobs and stuff, just be a mystery. People don't have to know your business, because there's a quote that I saw on Instagram. This guy was saying, if you have a business that you're working on and it's still in the early stages, don't go telling everybody your blessing about your new business, because everybody is not there to see your seed that you have planted grow. And that is very, very true. So what I noticed about whenever people found out that they that I went to Parsons, the new school of design, and I'm a designer. Oh, and my stuff is in stores, and oh, it's in like a whole bunch of gas stations, all this type of stuff. If one of like I have a friend on my job who I will talk to if she asks about certain things. about my business or just things in general. And sometimes we just talk by ourselves, like quietly to each other or whatever. But if someone overhears, they might ask some questions. I've noticed that if they ask questions, they may look at another person who works there like, oh, really? You believe that? Do you really think she really does that? Oh, do you really think she has a business? Stuff like that. Just because they haven't done it and they're living the lifestyle that they are living, they don't believe that other people are going to be able to do it because they're so brainwashed that, oh, I have to have a 9 to 5. Oh, I have to have a job to be something or to have some type of money. Because they're so brainwashed, they can only think in those four walls that we're working at in this regular 9 to 5 job. So that is a con of working a 9 to 5 and having a job. That's something that I learned, that I need to keep my business to myself. And people are brainwashed. And the fact that they are brainwashed, just let them be brainwashed. You keep your business to yourself and be a mystery and trust no one. And that toxic work environment, their faces are going to be on the floor when they see your business rise up and you keep running and chasing towards your goals. And they'll just be, you'll be focused and you'll be able to prove everyone wrong. You're going to prove them all wrong. Just keep your eyes on the prize. Keep going no matter what they say, whatever side eyes they give you, whatever they start to think or discuss among each other or go behind closed doors and whisper about you. It doesn't matter. Keep your eyes on the prize and keep going towards your goals and just prove everyone wrong. Okay, I think I mentioned this. Trust no one. When I say don't trust anyone, don't trust anyone. From the very beginning of me getting a new job, I noticed that there was some tension or some type of animosity or something. Just unneeded animosity or jealousy. I don't know what it is, but you can pick up a vibe whenever you go into a room, whenever you step into a room. So what I do, and what I had started doing was whenever I would go there and I had to work where I had to have food for the day, for my lunch and stuff like that. Because of that vibe, whenever you pick up a vibe like that, it's not cool to leave your food or your non-perishable items that you're gonna have to eat, like your water, or I guess I used the wrong words, but anyway, like your water, any kind of food that you have, keep it with you or keep it in a spot where nobody's gonna look or nobody's tall enough to get to. I'm pretty much the tallest person who works at my job, except this one new person. I'm the tallest person on my job, so I'm the only one who can reach where I started putting my food. Because, child, do not trust anyone. You start feeling those crazy, jealous, um anim- animosity filled vibes. Keep your food to yourself. Keep your food away from these people. You do not need anybody trying to slip something in your drink, slip something in your food, or anything like that. Don't let them touch your hair, because vibes are everything. Our hair is our antennas. Do not let them touch your hair. Do not let them touch your food. Nothing like that. Don't even let them get too close to you. If somebody rubs you the wrong way after you try to give them a compliment, and then all of a sudden they start noticing that you're distancing yourself. First of all, if you give somebody a compliment and they act a certain way, like, oh, they don't want to be bothered, but any other day it was like, okay, when you first met them, it was okay. But all of a sudden, you've been noticing that they've been whispering to someone in the corner or stuff like that, and then all of a sudden they start acting different. All of a sudden they're acting funny. Then another person gives them the same compliment, and they start having full out conversations with this person about the same compliment you gave them. But when you said it, they were like, "Oh, thank you," and just keep looking the other direction. Don't trust them. Eventually, they're going to notice that you're distancing yourself. Then they're going to want to be your friend. They're going to want to be buddy buddy again. Do not give them your number. Do not talk to them at all. Like, just cut it off. You can be sweet, you can be nice. all that. You can say hello, but keep it short and keep it plain and simple after that. You've noticed what type of way they're moving towards you. And I'm just saying, like, for me, I can't have anything to do with you. You already showed me your true colors. I'm done. And that's pretty much it. Just make everybody a believer. And if they didn't think you could do it, or if they didn't believe anything about you, then make them a believer. Next thing they know, they're going to see you on billboards. They're going to see your businesses open in the flesh or online. Whatever you do, everything is going to come to pass. And you've got to get out of that toxic environment. Okay, now I'm gonna look at you guys' comments because I know DJ Carlsey was saying things. Okay, kill them. What kind of service do you expect when spending your money? That's what you sign on for when you work customer service. Yes, that's kind of true. But this newer job that I have gotten, it's on another level. And I don't know if it's because it's after the pandemic and people are just now coming back out and being out and about and trying to, you know, have these conversations with people now. I don't know if it's because they're just now coming back out into society and everybody's just on edge. But yeah, I do expect some things for some people to be crazy, but not everybody. This has been like crazy extreme stuff happening. Like I never in all my years of working, I've been working since I was like 17, 18. I've never experienced customers on this level. Never be too comfortable on the job with your person. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, there was certain stuff like I wouldn't even say at first until, and there's still stuff that they don't know about me. But I just tell them like surface level things. So, just surface level things and things about like, oh, I went to this school. And then that is what leads to them asking further questions like about what do I do with my design stuff. And that's when they find out, oh, I have a business. Then people start acting funny. People start acting crazy, especially when they find out, oh, this girl got stuff in stores. Then they start wondering, why is she working here? That's not your business. First of all, that's not your business. Second, mind the business that pays you. And then third, get out of my face. Because I just don't like it. I don't like first of all, I don't like people being in my business. Second, what is it to you? Like, how is it helping you? How is it paying your bills? It's paying, I'm doing what I got to do to pay mine. But why are you worried? Why are you worried about my situation? So yeah, but anyway, I hope you guys learned something from this video. Go ahead. Also be humble. Don't look down on people. Oh yeah, definitely. That's not even something to even worry about. Humble. Whenever you are to yourself and people start to pick on you and pick at you when you're being to yourself and you're just humble as you can be, it makes you get to the point where it's like, why are you even in my face? I did nothing to deserve this. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something from this video. I hope that you guys go ahead and subscribe if you like my channel, or if you've seen other videos and you like my channel. And also like this video if you like the video. And follow me on Instagram at @theofficialj. I'll put it here in the chat as well. And I guess I'll pin it. Okay. But anyway, so at @theofficialj is my Instagram. And you guys can follow me on TikTok as well. I think it's at @4Sharnesia J4. And that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoy this, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace to the Middle East. Bye.